asked if he could pay for my $30 nails, my feet. And he said, you don't got it.
Let me get this straight. You're sad because you found out your boyfriend is broke because he didn't have enough to pay for your nails, hair, whatever. But aren't you broke? That's the reason you're asking him for it? Bro, I promise you, most of these dudes would be so up if they didn't have a girlfriend. Girls be the biggest expense for every dude. If girls just simply had their own bread and spent their own bread, I promise you, oh my gosh, we would be so up. But no, you need your feet, you need your nails, you need gas in your car. You want niggas to pay your bills. You want niggas to do all this and you can't even do it for yourself, bro. Nobody wants to be a dad in this economy. Y'all women be so broke calling other niggas broke when y'all don't have y'all own bread. Y'all don't even be having enough money to splurge on your man here and there. Niggas can't even buy them a $60 PlayStation gang. Just because your man wants to go 50-50, that doesn't mean he's broke. Maybe he's smart. He might be broke, but maybe he's smarter. Y'all broke, twin. Stop.
The rent is due and women are struggling, guys. Times are hard out there and women are starting to notice. And now they want men back, but men have already left. Today's video comes from Manhood. His channel will be linked in the description of the video, so you can go and check his work out. Why are women now panicking so much, and what does that mean for society going forward? Watch to the end of the video to have these questions answered. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Our Rumble's linked in the description of the video. Also, don't let them tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Go and check out Angry's Crypto Academy to learn how to buy, sell, and trade crypto while making massive profit. It's also linked in the description of the video. Like the video, turn on notifications, and hit the subscribe button to help push us out into the YouTube algorithm. And now let's begin.
This society is changing a lot, and even when we see a guy out that we think is cute, a lot of times they won't even walk up to us because they're intimidated.
And I don't know,
and like that's weird to me because I don't know. I think that's part of being a female is you want to feel like you're being chased.
I feel like guys do the chasing and girls like I'm the tequila, not the lime. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to I'm not gonna chase. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna chase you.
Men are stepping back because every normal gesture, holding a door, asking for a number, showing interest, risks being labelled a creep, a misogynist, or worse. The social rules have shifted so drastically that what used to be polite or romantic now comes with fear of public shaming. So many men simply choose peace over risk, pulling back from dating entirely.
Oh, let me do everything to get a girl. Let me get a girl. And it's like they chase the women. They don't chase the success. And when you chase the women, what ends up happening is you have to work exponentially harder because you're dealing with someone that didn't like you in the first place.
It's 2025, and men are waking up. They're done chasing women who never cared. Done simping for clout-chasing, gold-digging types. Focus has shifted, stacking cash, building bodies, and leveling up life. Female validation isn't the goal anymore. If she doesn't add value, she's irrelevant. Self-improvement and independence are the new priority, and the thirsty, attention-seeking era is officially over. Men are choosing themselves first, not chasing illusions.
Okay, so of course, y'all both supposed to be loving each other and reciprocating the same energy. Right? However, in my experience, like he said, when you start out chasing a woman and constantly trying to have to prove yourself, every next level you get to, now you gotta do this. Now climb up to that level, now you gotta do this all the time. Versus a woman that's after you and that's on your purpose and that's trying to, help you with your vision, you don't have to do all the extra work. Not saying that work won't be needed, but you definitely gonna, put in that work. And she's gonna put.
You know what's interesting? The man is the company. The man is the empire. Imagine a king having to chase a queen. That doesn't make any sense. You are the king of the empire. You request the presence of the woman that you're interested in. You don't go to her. She is supposed to come to you. She is supposed to bring value to the relationship. What does she have to offer? You're the one with the empire. Do you not see how broken the system is? This is the nonsense that happened 50 to 60 years ago, where men were told, don't ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. All right, and that may have been said by Winston Churchill. I forget, and it may have been said a bit, or maybe quite a bit before that. Regardless, that's the attitude. That's the attitude that occurred, and men were basically told to sacrifice while expecting nothing in return. If you are required to sacrifice while expecting nothing in return, you are an SLAVE. If you are told that your reward will be waiting for you in heaven, you are an SLAVE. You do not have autonomy. You are property. The relationship between men and men and women shifted, and it became one where now it's all about you, the once proud emperor, now serving someone who would be a servant in your empire before. Because that's the thing, a man's home, everything that a man has is his empire. And we can see that happening even today, because when a man gets a divorce, he loses half of everything. Although that's only an illusion in and of itself, because he loses half of everything, and then there's more. Okay, we get the illusion of half. More often than not, he loses half of everything in terms of assets, and then some, because he usually doesn't get to keep the house. So now he's losing more than half. How much is that house valued at? So a lot of times most of the time he loses much more than half. And then there's alimony and child support. So how much is he really losing? He's losing more like 80 to 90%, especially when you spread it out over the course of 18 to 20 years. And then if it's lifetime, something like lifetime alimony, because think about it, we don't get to keep all of our assets. We basically give 30 to 40% of our income to the state. How much is actually left for us? And in the case of things like child support, to my understanding, the man is basically paying the portion of taxes that would be paid on the child support. So everything is levied against the man. Everything is taken away from the man. The man is just viewed as basic. I've said this before, that we're basically prisoners of the state. And the actual purpose of women, because women basically they pushed away men, they transferred the authority over them to the state, and their job is basically to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, and then they get a nice cut from that. Everyone is getting a cut off the man. And men have woken up and realized it's not worth it. And they've walked away. And now you have women who are crying and complaining, like, where are all the men? The men left, sweetie. You told us not to approach anymore. You treated us very poorly. You took our kids away from us. Everyone is looking on. All right. No one wants to play this game anymore. You scorched the earth with M2, and then you kept on going. You scorched the earth with M2, and then you pounded the ground. Like, bro, what is going on with you? You scorched the earth with M2, and then you poured salt on it, as if it wasn't a big enough wound.
All the time we hang that gangster rap shit up. Yeah. And admit that we all was stupid. Even me. Got tats all on my face, did all that. All that gang shit. We did that. That shit's stupid. You got NBA Youngboy promoting peace. You got Lil Durk promoting peace. You got Young Thug snitching. Everybody snitching. Everybody snitches. Everybody going to jail with snitching. It's just getting real corny. It's getting real corny. Like, I mean, when you really think about it, this shit is a game. But hey, I think it's time that y'all hang that shit up. Gangster rap is corny. Because when you get older, once you get older, like 30-something, That shit played out. Because you mature and you realize and you wisen up and you get some guidance and you realize that shit was dumb. So why can't we just stop it now? Just stop being dumb right now. Don't wait till you're 30. Don't wait till you're 35. Don't wait till you go to jail for life to repent and pray to God. Why don't you just stop the dumb shit now? I stopped. Y'all see me changing. Life's great. I love God.
She's covered up in like arms covered up in tattoos, chest covered up in tattoos. She even has her head tattooed. That's probably a wig or something that because you can see even on her scalp tattoos. All right, and now she's in a good place with God, because what did I tell y'all? The streets lead to the church, and this church leads right back to the streets. So stay off the streets and out of the church, because now she knows her worth, and she is worth a good, godly man who will not cheat on her, who will not put hands, who will not throw hands, who will not throw hands. Who will love and respect and honor and cherish. Let me tell y'all, don't ever forget this. Don't forget Uncle Angry told you this. You can take the girl out of the street, but you cannot take the street out of the girl. Okay? She will always be for the streets. She will never change. She won't. It will always be a part of her core identity. The streets will always be there. It's from the streets that she came, and it is to the streets that she shall return. So this is just a game right now to them. This is just a game for them. Because they messed around, they found out the rent is due, and now they're looking for someone to subsidize their living and save them as usual. As usual. It's a sad reality, but that's just how it works. And when, again, guys, when all else fails, okay, because Only Fools fails, OnlyFans fails, everything else fails, what are they going to do? They're going to go right back to the streets. Because basically a woman only has three options. She can look to the state. She can look to the state to subsidize her. But if she can't take care of herself, because those corporate jobs are not corporate jobs. Heck, even McDonald's is hard to get a job at Mickey D's today. So if she cannot survive living off the state, she can't survive off the simp economy solely anymore. Only Fools isn't covering the bills anymore. The average Only Fools model only makes around $150 a month, despite the fact they're trying to convince everyone that, oh, these girls are making more money than LeBron James. No. So if the state is not going to sustain her, if the SIP economy is not going to sustain her, there's only one option left. That is the streets. Because again, it is from the streets that she came, hence it is to the streets that she shall ultimately return. In a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
Push you to that direction, but it is 10 times more work if I'm having to chase you also in that process.
True. Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just, be how it is, establish this together, work together, and then we build something? But if I'm trying to build and chase you at the same time, I'm not going to ever get to my destination, or it's going to take me longer than it should have.
Mm.
Chasing a woman while building your life is like running a marathon with bricks on your back. If she isn't there from the start, she's dead weight. Real partners push you forward, not demand proof. Focus on building first, choosing wisely later. Simping only leads to failure.
Don't chase women.
Really?
They'll chase you. You meet a lady, you express to her how wonderful she looks, or how you respond to the way she looks, or whatever it is, and then go on about your business.
When the timing's right, the right woman will show up and invest in you fully. Meanwhile, focus on building your life, your goals, and your grind. A little genuine interest is fine, but stay mysterious. She'll notice, wonder, and be drawn to the man who's building himself first.
This type of guy doesn't chase women, and I'll tell you why. Number one, if he's really this type of guy, he probably don't have an issue with women. That's number one. Number two, when a man is secure and he's confident, and he's good being by himself, I think a lot of people try to fill up the space because they don't like being alone. This type of guy don't struggle with being alone. So he don't need you. He wants you, but he don't need you. And because he doesn't need you, he ain't gonna chase you. Which, to be honest with you, I think is a strength, because you don't want a man that needs someone, who just doesn't like being alone, so they'll take anybody just to fill in the space. That's not the kind of guy you actually want. You want a guy that's okay being alone, because if you're in his space or he wants you around, you know he genuinely wants you around. It's not just to have somebody there or to fill in the blank.
Ladies, when you meet a man who's truly at peace with himself, he won't put up with constant drama or disrespect. He values his boundaries, respect, and peace over feelings alone. Many women have never been held to that kind of standard, and it shows in their reactions.
You made a video about the adored and the adoree between men and women.
The adored and the adorer.
Yes, sorry. Can you talk about that a little bit, and why men need to understand being the adored is where you need to be as the man?
Sure. It's actually pretty easy to understand. I call it the balance of attraction. The fundamental axiom is that it's not possible for two people to like each other exactly the same amount. It's not possible. The issue is that if a man is the adorer, it forces the woman into the adored mode, and the adored gets to be loved by the one they're with. These people maybe have more control or power in this situation, but they have less of an emotional experience. It's not as fun to be loved by the one you're with. It's way more exhilarating to be with the one that you love. And in general, boredom is going to drive women out of a relationship sooner than men.
Yep.
And the longer she's in the position of being the adored, she's on that pedestal and you're looking up to her, the more she might be looking for the door.
A wise saying from a pimp: always choose the woman who genuinely wants you, not the one you're chasing. Desire alone isn't enough. Mutual interest and effort make the difference between being valued or being used.
Do not focus on women. I will never, ever, ever, ever promote you guys chasing women. If you do what you're supposed to do, you will simply absorb women. You will have too much choice. You need to just focus on everything that has to do with you becoming a better man. Women are going to see it, and they're going to try to jump in your way.
It's a simple but brutal truth. If you spend your time, energy, and money chasing women, you'll likely get burned, used, or left empty-handed. But when your focus is on building your wealth, skills, and life, women naturally take notice. Financial stability and ambition attract respect, loyalty, and genuine interest. So prioritize your grind first, and the right attention will follow, without ever costing you more than you're willing to invest in yourself.
Well, I don't want to talk to a guy at the gym. Okay. I don't want to date a guy on Instagram. Okay. I don't want to talk to a guy that comes up to me in the store. Well, where is a guy supposed to talk to you at? Church? You don't even go to church. Men, when you approach a gal or ask for a phone number or an Instagram, you can message her a couple times. But if she is interested, she will get back to you. If she forgot, she is not interested. You need to stop chasing. You need to stop pursuing, because you'll
Here's the thing about that. You can be talking to a woman and she's reciprocating for a while, and then suddenly she stops responding. And you're naturally thinking, well, maybe it's because I've been messaging her too much. Maybe it's because I did something wrong. There's a big factor. There's an elephant in the room that a lot of men don't take into consideration, an external variable, and it's simple. She's talking to multiple men at the same time. She was talking to you, things were going well with you, but then someone else came along and she shifted her focus over to him or them. Because it's not uncommon for a woman to be talking to anything from several men at once to a dozen or more men at once. I know it sounds absolutely insane, but it is not. Because when you consider all the different platforms that she's on, all the different dudes that are sliding into her DMs, a very pretty woman, a beautiful woman, if she has an Instagram, it is not uncommon for her to have easily 100 or hundreds of unread messages from men on any given single day. They get so many messages from men that they often just end up not reading all of them. It's literally they slide through they go through the pictures every so often because they have other things to do. They have to work, they have to live their lives, they have appointments. So they don't have an endless amount of time. That's just a reality of life. And they have so much communication from dudes that they just ultimately say, you know what? It's not, I don't have enough time, and I'm just basically going to treat men kind of like, it's basically you're just there, and I'll just pick and choose whichever one is interesting me at any given moment. The irony is that as they get older and fewer men start attempting to court them, and now there's no, and now even like you have women who are in their 20s, and men have just given up and walked away from society, walked away from relationships. They're no longer chasing, they're no longer approaching, they're no longer going to coffee shops, they're barely in the workforce. They're no longer they're no longer they're you don't they're not even in the grocery store. They go to the grocery store, they go in and they get out quickly. They're not at the gyms. They're not even playing games on video games online anymore because women wanted to jump on these games and say that men were being toxic on these platforms. So men are getting offline, men are going offline, going back to PlayStation 2, downloading an emulator and playing games, and playing games that are offline from like 20, 30 years ago. And now women are like, wait a minute, why are guys not even playing games online anymore? I don't get it. And they're panicking. I mean, look at this comment from one of my subscribers. I talked about it in another video. He said, last year I dated, bought women food and drinks. This year I downloaded a PlayStation 2 emulator on my PC and started gaming almost every day after work. No dates, but I have saved 16,000 this year just not spending money on women. And if you do the math, when I did the math myself, I mean, if you basically say that he saved around $16,000 over the course of 10 months, and you break that down and you do that, basically it works out to, if he continues at the same rate of savings, he should have somewhere around $90,200 by the end of the year. So he should save almost $20,000 by the end of this year if he continues on the same trajectory. $20,000 in a single year, bro? Are you crazy in this economy for a normal guy? $20,000 by just not dating. And all he's doing right now, according to him, is basically just going to work, coming home and playing PlayStation 2 games on his emulator, PC emulator. And he's happy, he's healthy, he's chilling. He doesn't even seem like he's grinding like that. People are like, oh, well, he has to be making lots of money. No, he doesn't. Because once you stop going on dates, going out on dates and everything, the average man can live happily in a shoebox on the side of the road. The average woman cannot. Average man can. All right. And you know what's funny about this? As soon as he said this, as soon as he's like, you know what? I don't need this in my life. I can be happy without dating. I can be happy without relationships. I can walk away. Women basically started calling him and calling men who do this an INCEL. This is a comment from a woman. People are so backwards in response to this comment. People are so backwards. If your idea of women is people who require thousands and thousands to impress, you're dating the wrong women. No need to be an INCEL gamer. We just don't have taste in gold diggers. IHATE the internet. And guys, this guy's he didn't say anything negative about women, anything negative about relationships. He just basically said, I'm living my best life. I'm living my best life. I'm focusing on myself. Instead of going on dates, I'm just playing games. And that's the reason why women hate games so much. And the thing is, of course, someone was like, well, women don't even realize there are a ton of other women who play games. Thing is, women have no problem with other women playing games. They just don't like men playing games. They don't like men taking the focus off women. If men unanimously stopped playing video games and started just going fishing, they would find something wrong with men going fishing. They would be hollering and screaming that men are destroying nature and men are wasting time, and they need to ban men from fishing. Any activity that men are doing that would take the focus off men and away from women It will infuriate them. If men sat on the couch simply reading the Bible all the time and began ignoring women. So basically, if women knew that men were at home just reading the Bible all the time and praying, they would be pissed and furious. If men are, because when you say something like, when you call a person an INCEL gamer, just because this is a person obviously who can get women. Think about this. How many dates did this man go on? He was going on tons of dates. So if he was going on tons of dates, that means that he was attracting tons of women. And he decided it was not worth his time, not worth his energy, and he simply stopped. And now, because he stopped chasing women, because he stopped subsidizing women, he's now an INCEL. And when they call you that, the reason why they're doing that is because they're not only are they trying to shame you, they're trying to say you're dangerous. And if you're dangerous, that means that you need to be under surveillance and you need to be arrested and incarcerated. Can you imagine? So if you're not bringing value to women, if men are isolated, if you are, most men today are now are now pulling away from society. They're basically living in these homes. They're staying home all the time. They're not going out. So it's like being in a jail cell. I talked about this in another video. It's like being in a jail cell. It might be a really nice jail cell. I know many of you are like, well, listen, it's real. I like being home. Yes, but call it what you want. If you are avoiding society, if you're not actively going out, okay, and a lot of you are not introverts, you can act like, oh, well, I'm an introvert. Everyone is suddenly an introvert. Get the F out of here. No. You don't want to go out into a society that does not like you and does not care about you and told you to go away. All right? And now you're it basically works out that you are isolating at home. You may not feel isolated because you're out in society, and you can feel so alone when you're around people. And now you're by yourself, and you don't feel that you've learned how to be alone, and you're feeling good. You feel better being alone. But don't misunderstand, it's still very equivalent to being in a jail cell, to being in solitary. And the irony is that women are pissed off that they're like, oh, men are toxic on games, so men are no longer playing online games. Okay, so now you're toxic. You're toxic for being alone, playing offline games, not bothering anyone, staying away. Staying away from women. How does that make you bad? I told you guys, if men are imprisoned, because this is where it's heading. You put all the men in prison. You lock. This is how women operate. You lock the men away. You separate the men from women. You put the men in solitary confinement. So now you have a society where there are no men. Women do not see the men anymore. Women do not interact with the men anymore, and women will continually say they feel less safe. They feel less safer than 10 years ago when men were still talking to women and approaching them publicly. They feel less. Wait a minute, but all the men are in prison now, sweetie. The men are all incarcerated. The men are now locked away. Society has locked. In fact, the men went into those cells willingly. The guard didn't pull the door shut. The men pulled the door shut. The men are in solitary, sweetie. The men are in solitary confinement. Don't worry, they're not coming back. They don't want to. Okay? And if it makes you feel better, they're not even eating that well in there. They get like burnt food. Like, it's crap food, sweetie. It's crap food. All right? So, and the women are like, well, if it's crap food, then why aren't they coming out? Why are they banged? Why don't they want to come out? Because they find peace in there. What are they doing in there? They just really sleep, poop, eat whatever they're given, and that's about it. They're not even gaming. A lot of them are not even gaming, and they don't have any games in there, sweetie. So what are they doing all day? They're just sitting there. They're sitting there. They're allowed to leave the cell every 1 hour a day, and to go wash their butts and stretch their legs. So that's about it. So now they're like, the women are like, they're an even bigger DANGER. Those are INCELs because they don't want to come outside. They're INCEL, sweetie. They're locked away. There's no danger to you, babe. They're locked away. These men can't get to you. You know, we have guards on them all the time. So what are you complaining about? No, men who avoid women are a danger to women. But that doesn't make sense. They're incarcerated. See, women are, guys, it's a hypocrisy. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and now they want access to the men in the prison. So basically, men are now separated from society. Men have separated from themselves from society. They were pushed out of society, and now women are demanding access to the same men that they helped to push out of society, that they told to go away. This is how women think, and this is how women operate. I know it's an insane thing, and yet this is what men continue to deal with. And why are women especially behaving like this? It's because the rent is due. It's because the rent is due. Feminism is just another name for Marxism. I told you that women would say, feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight it together. Feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight for one another. So basically, after 50 to 60 years of feminism, Marxist theory, and and all of the ill-gotten gains that feminism got for them, now they're beginning to watch all of it slip away. Now they're beginning to now they're beginning to lose it all. After having fun in the streets for decades, they will now want men to come and save the day, and men are gone. And they don't like it one bit. So now they're trying to use shame, insults, guilt, gaslighting, because they need to be right to get men to come back, even while they're still putting these same men down. So the narrative remains the same, but they're demanding men come and save them. Guys, what their final destination is? Their final destination is the woods, it's the streets, it's the living in their cars, I've said it plenty of times, living in their cars, living in shelters, living on the streets, or more, and this is a big one, having to go live in the woods with Yogi and Boo Boo. They said that they would rather the bear, but now they don't want to live with Yogi and Boo Boo and Ranger. And some of y'all pointed this out. Some of y'all pointed this out, that the Ranger retired. I forget his name, Ranger whatever. Bro retired. Okay, he retired a minute ago. He's chilling at home right now. Okay, so those bears are going wild in the woods. So those, because he's like, yeah, I'm not. They told me to go away, so I'm chilling. I'm chilling, and now they're gonna have to sort it out with Yogi and Boo Boo, and the Yogi and Boo Boo that they see that women see on television. He's not friendly like that. All right, the Yogi that they see on Yogi and Boo Boo. Boo Boo's hungry as hell. Boo Boo is ferocious as hell. Yogi is there bringing him up like, okay, that's a meal right there. But anyway, guys, I divest, or whatever. What do you think regarding all of this? Okay, the rent is due and women are struggling. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men Walking Away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.